Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the 2020 graduation commencement ceremony live from the Paynesville High School. It's going to be a little different this year. We're right in the parking lot right now, and we have that car parade. Obviously, with COVID-19 being in the way, we had to adjust a little bit for the ceremony, but I think we'll make it work. My co-host is Dave Wilkie. He's waving right now. The first guest we have is Mayor Jeff Thompson from the class of 1970. He's going to give us the plaque to the 2020 graduates. Jeff, you want to tell us a little bit about the plaque that you have here?
Sure, thank you, Jake. And I'm not here as mayor, as Jacob said. I'm here as a representative of the class of 1970. And we were supposed to have our 50th class reunion earlier this month, but of course that got canceled, and a lot of us were fairly bummed. But we got thinking about all the things that the class of 2020 are missing that kind of makes missing a class reunion pale in comparison. So we were paying attention to some of the things that were being talked about for what to do for the class of 2020, banners with pictures, and of course, car parade and things like that. And we thought maybe do something that's a little more longer lasting than just symbolic. So talked to school board member Maggie Utsch, and I asked if it would be possible to come up with a plaque for the class of 2020 from the class of 1970. And quite interestingly enough, the class of 1970 was the first class to graduate from this building here. The cornerstone of theirs is 1969, and we were the first class to graduate from here. And thought, kind of in recognition of the first class to not graduate out of that building, a plaque or something would be significant. So I worked with board member Maggie Utsch and talked to Superintendent Bullard to see if it would be possible for a plaque to be placed in the school someplace, rather than hand it off from graduate to graduate like the Stanley Cup trophy is. So anyway, we have this plaque that says to the COVID-19 class of 2020 from the class of 1970, and it lists all the class members of the class of 2020. So I will present this to probably somebody down there on the school board or whatever, and thank you for the opportunity to come and do this, and best wishes to the class of 2020. 50 years ago, we thought we were going to change the world. Maybe not as much as we could have. There's still things that need to be accomplished. So anyway, sure. Now it's up to the class of 2020.
Well, there we go. Well, thank you, Jeff, for coming in and for that class of 1970 for the plaque for the class of 2020.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, a little transition here. We'll get Dave Wilkie back in. Get ready to go for the graduation ceremony. He's all dressed up in his gown.
Yeah, try to be anyway. Hey,
looking good.
What a plaque, huh?
Yeah, that was really cool.
There. So that's a good way to recognize these kids that have gone through quite the transition this school year. So
definitely. So how are things going today for you?
They are going pretty well. So
good.
I mean, overall, we got. I'm going to put a shout out to Brad Skoglin. We got a great sun-kissed day today.
There you go.
So you got a day out here. A former staff member, true guy to my heart in a lot of ways, always positive, and definitely could use some of his positivity in a time like this. So
absolutely, it's great.
Mm-hmm. So we're just waiting on the convoy to come over here in this direction a little bit.
That is right. Yeah, they started that car parade at the ambulance garage, and they're parading through town, going by, I believe, 700 Stearns and the Manor. So residents there can watch them as they go by. We do have an on-field reporter, Micah Deppa, filming the procession as they go through. So hopefully we get some nice shots of that as the cool cars as they go around.
Yes, and community members, if you get a chance, give our graduates a nice shout out here. I'm sure they would appreciate your participation in this ceremony, since they are a part of this great community. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd like to thank our viewers, of course, at home as well for tuning in today. Hopefully we get a decent number watching our live stream. little different ceremony, like we said before, but like you said, it's a beautiful day and nice breeze. And it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit better than being in that hot gym with 1,000 people or 900 people, and they're exhausted.
I would kind of agree. We might have to start a trend here, going down to the future, and do it this way: a picnic on the outside, and and have a big recognition of all these kids that are on each year that they're coming through here. So
very well could be. We got people lined up in the old Shopco parking lot and the Legion parking lot. Obviously, being able to watch this event, so that's great. We got a nice crowd coming in there. Looks like some of the cars are going by. I'm not sure exactly who is in the cars, but they are very well decorated. We got some balloons on that one there. Got some more balloons on there. Streamers. This is all looking great as the graduates go through town, and we'll hopefully get them coming by the high school to start their commencement ceremony.
Que buena. Hey. So, just so you guys know, I just need to protect my head here. Otherwise I might get sunburns. We'll see what happens here. So I might just hold this up the whole time as we're going, because eventually they're not going to be looking at us. So.
Right. Yeah, and actually right now they're watching the car parade. But if you didn't know, right now the German-Spanish teacher has a sombrero on to protect his head during this time. Well, that's great. It's great to see. It looks good on you.
Yeah, my fellow colleague pulled it out of the classroom because I forgot to bring something for my head today. So it's the way it goes.
Yeah, whatever works, right?
That's right.
We have Faith Dickhausen on one of the cameras manning that. We also have our producer, Matt Dickhausen, producing today's broadcast. We thank him and Faith for being a part of this and be able to get this thing rolling. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, our spring sponsor broadcast, for letting us be able to be here today and to have this production. So thank you again to our sponsors. And the graduates are still parading through town. They got some nice looking cars. Can't wait to see them pull through here.
Yeah. We got a number of staff members out here already waiting to see the seniors through, and 5 of our board members are also here. So we're getting there. So in terms of who's here to help pull them through.
Yeah, it's great.
The ceremony.
Yeah, it's great that the staff were able to show up to and be able to be here. Obviously, with different guidelines and different things going on, but definitely this is the time where we need them to be here for the class of 2020 and the seniors as they go on through the rest of their lives there.
Yes, and that's kind of been a hard thing, I think, for a lot of us, is just not being able to see multiple people at a time and to be able to interact. So I see a lot with our staff members. They're over there trying to catch up a little bit over from now, because a lot of them probably haven't seen each other since we started this whole thing at home. And I know personally it's been not the easiest of times to sit in quarantine and not being able to interact with people. So
right, yeah, and actually be able to see people face to face and not over a computer screen, I bet is pretty nice too.
Yeah, that is very nice. The computer screen definitely gets old after a while.
Oh, so. Yes.
Do you have an idea where they're at so far?
Not exactly sure where around town they are right now, but I'm sure they're still making their way down. Getting a little windy as sombrero's coming out.
There you go. I'm too fast for it, though.
You got it. Right in time.
There you go. Kept it up.
Well, I'll take this time to go through our sponsor list. Just get a shout out to them. Paynesville Community Education. Did you know this is a student broadcast live stream? It's a community education program. How about the Paynesville Fitness Center, PAHS, school-age childcare, ECFE, preschool, youth recreation and enrichment, summer recreation and enrichment, adult basic education, adult enrichment and recreation programs. They all are Paynesville area community education programs. Check out their website at paynesvillece.com to take part in community ed. Now that's community ed. We also have M&M Lumber of Paynesville. Starting a new project in the middle of home improvements or simply contemplating the first step, Stop in at M&M Lumber on Highway 55 east of Paynesville to get your plans and ideas in motion. For over 30 years, M&M has been providing the services they need to help start and finish any construction project. Don't forget to reserve your graduation or wedding rentals today. They provide tents, tables, chairs, and many other party needs. Check out M&M Lumber today. Well, we're going to go through our schedule for today as we're getting the commencement ceremony going through. We got the car parade going on now. We'll have the processional song by the high school band under the direction of Mr. Theron Knowlton. He was able to get that through video conference, get all the people, the graduates recorded on playing their instruments, and able to put that all together. So it'll be exciting to see that. We'll also have the welcome remarks from David Orline. He's the secondary school principal. And we'll have the speeches from our valedictorians and farewell speech by Allie Kalkbrenner, Samantha Leeser, and Skylar Berg. And once that kind of wraps up, then we'll start with our car parading, diploma exchange. I don't know what else you want to go through
there
here.
You go.
We'll get
ceremony.
The ceremony, the actual ceremony that I believe would be the first one that's ever been outdoors. We'll have to check with our history there.
Yeah,
but probably is the first one outdoors.
I wonder if you don't think they ever had one on the football field or anything over time?
Possibly, I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, definitely a beautiful day to do this. So, you couldn't ask for better weather. So, yeah, we're still waiting a little bit on getting things started here, so I'm sure we'll be getting things underway fairly soon. You know, if we were on TV, we'd have a break right now or something where we'd go to commercial.
we got those timed out for commercial. That would be nice.
That would be good.
Well, speaking of that, if you would like to be part of our broadcast, we have a summer talk show called The Talk of Paynesville. We just finished up our broadcast season for that. But if anyone is interested in being a sponsor for that, contact Matt Dickhausen at thepaynesvillece.com. His contact information is there, and you can become a sponsor for our broadcast. Obviously, with the no sports this spring season, we were able to switch over and have a talk show for Paynesville, just highlighting the different things around Paynesville and the Paynesville community. So we're able to pull that off, and this summer we'll be continuing that, and we'll have weekly broadcasts Thursdays at 9 a.m. That's when we broadcast and go live from Paynesville High School, and we'll be having guests from around the town just to talk about giving us some updates and different things on how things are going during this time. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, go contact Matt Dickhausen, and we'll be happy to have you join our team and production.
And just another great thing that the Paynesville community offers to its citizens here. So kind of neat to have a way to interact with people in different means. So it's kind of neat that way.
Yeah, exactly, and especially during this day and age where we have a lot of technology that we can use and be able to broadcast this out to anyone who really wants to watch it. So we can have people from all over be able to take part and watch this just a ceremony or any events or shows that we would have or host.
Yeah, and nice to have people like you and Matt Dickhausen that are pretty tech savvy with all the stuff here too. So I think it's amazing the amount of talent that we have in our school system here and for the kids and things like that. So just kind of a variety of talents, and it's kind of neat to see how all this stuff comes together sometimes.
Exactly, yes, and it does take a lot of time and a lot of trial and error and a lot of learning experience, especially for our students to be able to learn all these new technologies that they have out there available for them. So yeah, it's a great experience. So got cars going through downtown. I believe this class had 78 is the class participants.
Yep.
My class, which is the year before, was 70, I believe. So it's a little bit more than the last year's class.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit more of an increase in our student population here. Here.
Looks like our producer's saying we got 10 cars left going through the parade.
And they're on their way.
They're on their way.
I think it's down there. You see? Fell off. I was gonna wait until. Ooh, we've got the parade is just starting to finish up. I think the back end is starting to head through town now. And I'm going to have Jacob talk about our schedule again, just to remind you of what's going to take place here.
Yeah, right now we have that parade going around town just finishing up. We have a processional song by the high school band under the direction of Mr. Theron Knowlton. They were able to get that song together online and video conference of all the band members, so that would be kind of cool to watch there. We'll have our welcome remarks from David Orline, who is the secondary school principal. Then after that, we'll have the farewell address and valedictorian speeches by Alec Kalkbender, Samantha Leeser, and Skylar Berg. And after that, then is the main event for this afternoon would be the actual commencement ceremony, and we'll have the cars coming through. We already got the school board ready to go to, I believe, hand out or some way of getting them the diploma. Be able to take that picture, and off they go right behind us and off into the next career, or if their future careers or future whatever they have in store for them after graduating from Paynesville High School.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat thing to see what these kids end up doing, and I want to encourage the graduates this year as well as any previous graduates. If you get a chance, stop in and visit your teachers here once in a while. Let us know what the heck is going on in your lives, and don't be upset if for some reason we don't remember your names. We've got a lot of people to have to remember here, so kind of give us a heads up who you are, and I'm always interested in seeing what former graduates have done and how they're applying the things that they learned here in school. That's definitely an invite to everybody that's graduated in the past, as well as the ones that are graduating here today.
Exactly. It's always nice to come back and talk to those teachers who meant so much during their high school and middle school and even elementary times, and had a big impact on their career and life as well. So you can see Mr. Wilkie's sombrero. It's the first time they get to see it, so I'm sure they're just liking it.
A little bit, yes. Well, some of the Spanish students may have remembered this in class, but I didn't wear it too often, so unless I use my alter ego, but we'll get into that some other time, I think.
We got some time, maybe.
A little Juanita here, or Birgit, depending on which language we're talking about here. So, yeah, no, it's definitely always bringing up things that are humorous and memorable from past is always kind of neat to see. So I can tell that we're getting closer. People are getting closer to getting here because the staff here is setting up along the front entrance here, and getting ready for that processional to start here. So.
Yeah, they're all dressed in those gowns. I know the different colors on the back is, I believe, their education level, or how what kind of teacher.
Yes, so some of it has to do with the type of degree. So the more colorful ones are higher degrees, depending on what their areas are, and also the color kind of indicates the degree area too. So
okay.
They're acknowledging their. So obviously somebody knows that the graduation processional's coming this way.
Must be. They're ready to roll.
Always neat.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in. I'm Jacob Burton with David Wilkie. We'll be going to our commercial break, and we'll be back in a few.